This place blows.
You're out of your mind!
How's it going?
It's a revolution!
Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys.
Get down on your knees and show some appreciation.
Man, this place is creepy.
I'm getting scaredy farts.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to NSS. This is the Reynolds Report. Jeopardy and the world at large suffered a great loss when Alex Trebek died of pancreatic cancer earlier this month. Jeopardy tapes episodes in advance, so Trebek's final appearances on the show won't air for some time. But then what? Since Trebek's passing, there have been plenty of theories and suggestions as to who might take over as host of the iconic trivia series. For now, Jeopardy plans to resume production at the end of this month with a rotating list of guest hosts, including previous Jeopardy winner Ken Jennings. The guest-hosted episodes will begin the week of January 11th. The infamous KATU exploding whale video has been remastered to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the infamous beached whale incident that took place in Florence, Oregon in 1970.
It had to be said, the Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale of a problem on its hands, it had a stinking whale of a problem. What to do with one 45-foot, 8-ton whale dead on arrival on the beach near Florence. It had been so long since a whale had washed up in Lane County, nobody could remember how to get rid of one. In selecting its battle plan, the Highway Division decided the carcass couldn't be buried because it might soon be uncovered. It couldn't be cut up and then buried because nobody wanted to cut it up, and it couldn't be burned. So dynamite it was, some 20 cases or a half-ton of it. The hope was that the long-dead Pacific gray whale would be almost disintegrated by the blast, and that any small pieces still around after the explosion would be taken care of by seagulls and other scavengers. Indeed, the seagulls had been standing nearby all day. As everything was being made ready, we asked George Thornton, the highway engineer in charge of the project, for his final observation.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing so the scavengers, seagulls, and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
Is there any chance it might be more than a one-day job?
If there's any large chunks left, and we may have to do some other cleanup, possibly set another charge.
The dynamite was buried primarily on the leeward side of the big mammal, so as most of the remains would be blown toward the sea. About 75 bystanders, most of them residents who had first found the whale to be an object of curiosity before they tired of its smell, were moved back a quarter of a mile away. The sand dunes there were covered with spectators and land lubber newsmen, shortly to become land blubber newsmen, for the blast blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds. Get a while?
All right, Fred, you can take your hands out of your ears. Here comes cases of...
Our cameras stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. Pieces of meat passed high over our heads while others were falling at our feet. The dunes were rapidly evacuated as spectators escaped both the falling debris and the overwhelming smell. A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large chunk. The passenger compartment literally smashed. Fortunately, no human was hit as badly as the car. However, everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whale. As for the success of the effort, well, the seagulls who were supposed to clean things up were nowhere in sight, either scared away by the explosion or kept away by the smell. That didn't really matter. The remaining chunks were of such a size that no respectable seagull would attempt to tackle anyway. As darkness began to set in, the highway crews were back on the beach burying the remains, including a large piece of the carcass which never left the blast site. It might be concluded that should a whale ever wash ashore in Lane County again, those in charge will not only remember what to do, they'll certainly remember what not to do.
And now, things I've learned from Judge Judy.
All rise.
The bottom issue is, I'm sure there was violence on both sides when you were drinking. The issue is 4 days in jail. Had you ever been in jail before? Yes.
Same exact thing. Sorry.
Well, she certainly can't pick them. She did file a restraining order against her ex-husband, did she not?
It was not similar circumstances.
That's not what I'm asking you. Fear is fear. It's what happens when you drink.
That's it for Things I've Learned from Judge Judy.
Trump spent the day retweeting and quote tweeting Randy Quaid and James Wood. It seems as though we've all entered a Family Guy episode. The agency that assists with the transition from one president to the next has officially started the process, which means Joe Biden can now be fitted for shoes for the White House bowling alley. Research shows that men carry a gene that limits their lifespan. I'm pretty sure that's called the cheating on your wife gene. City of New Orleans says there won't be any parades during 2021's Mardi Gras. Parades will not be permitted because large gatherings could be super spreaders of the coronavirus. I remember back when Mardi Gras was only known as a super spreader of puke and colorful beads. Time for Nobody Gives a F***. Well, winter's almost here. I've switched to my winter socks. They're essentially the same as the summer ones, only with fewer holes in them. Hey, winter, nobody gives a f***. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court has approved the sale of JCPenney, which is kind of ironic in that that's the first thing JCPenney has sold in years. Hey, JC, nobody gives a f***. And Jupiter and Saturn are about to do something not seen for nearly 800 years. This statement alone proves why most astronomers are still virgins. Hey, Galileo, nobody gives a f***. Thanks, everybody. We have a new episode of the Reynolds Report for you every weekday. Be sure to check out NSS Live starring Frank D'Angelo, Tuesdays and Thursdays for NSS Live.